Hey guys. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Kito. And just saw that we have new characters released in Naruto-Arena, so I want to just like go over them and give my first impressions. I haven't read through them all yet. Hey guys, really quick, I just wanted to say please comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I just want the channel to grow, so participate and be a part of us, so thanks. So we've got young Jiraiya, young Tsunade, young Orochimaru, and Hanzo the Salamander. You know, that's funny because I was just thinking today, are they gonna fucking add Hanzo when he was, you know, fighting Orochimaru and Tsunade and Jiraiya? And just like today I was thinking that, so it's weird that they added him, but that's dope. And then one adjusted character, Akatsuki Conan. What do you mean? Adjusted? Oh, okay, so she must be from Naruto-Arena.com. So 25 piercing damage to one enemy. For one turn, enemies using stunning skills on Conan will receive 5 piercing damage. That's a new effect. Enemies using stunning skills on her receive piercing damage. I wonder if there's a point to that. Like, hopefully that ties in with something. If it's just there for no reason, I don't think that's very good. I don't like that. But hopefully it has a reason. I'm crossing my fingers. This skill deals 5 additional damage to enemies affected by origami blanket. So this is pretty much the same skill from .com, except for this effect, which seems right now sort of random and has no purpose. It's just there. Conan, I like the picks, by the way. Good job, Devil. So, Conan targets one enemy. For 2 turns, that enemy has their physical and mental class skills stunned, will become invulnerable to friendly skills, and take 15 damage each turn. I think it was physical and chakra in .com. I don't mind physical and mental. I think that's okay. Will become invulnerable to friendly skills and take 15 damage each turn. That is the same skill, except they changed it from chakra to mental, which is fine. We need more mental stuns anyway, and we need more physical mental stuns too. But this right here should have been their opportunity to tie in their for 1 turn enemies using stunning skills on Conan will receive whatever damage. For instance, for however much damage Conan has done to an enemy, you know, who tried to stun her while this effect was active, it's added onto this skill the next time it's used. Conan attacks dealing 25 damage to one enemy and 25 damage to a random different enemy, so that's the same skill. But we've got a new effect. For 1 turn, enemies using stunning skills on Conan will receive 10 damage. Yeah, okay, so that's sort of randomly there too. They should have done something with this skill and tied in those together, because right now, these effects are just there for no reason. We shouldn't be adding in effects for no reason. That could have been done better. And classic Invul and so. Conan's pretty much the same character, she just has 2 new effects that, you know, are sort of useful. I mean, like, when characters try to stun her, she deals damage to them. I don't think that's going to get much use, especially because they didn't do anything else with it, like connect them to a different skill. So overall, I think in the future, that effect is either going to get changed completely, or she's going to get boosted or something, because people are going to know that those effects just suck. Right now, I think they just suck. Okay. So let's go to one of the new characters. So young Jiraiya. Dragon Fire Technique. Young Jiraiya targets the enemy team, removing all non-mental invisible effects and dealing 10 affliction damage to them. This skill can't be countered. Nice. it should be reflected too. This skill cannot be countered or reflected because if you're removing all non-mental invisible effects, well, I guess most reflects are mental anyway. Okay, never mind. And 10 infliction damage to the enemy team. That's a pretty good skill. 1 cooldown. Okay. For each stack of effects removed by the skill deals 5 additional damage. That I like. That's good. This is a good skill. Nice. Young Dry targets one enemy. For 2 turns, they will be unable to become invulnerable. Sorry, I was checking to see if my volume was on. For 2 turns, they will be unable to become invulnerable, and all friendly counter and reflect skills on them will be ignored. The skill cannot be countered or reflected and ends if Young Dry dies. 1 random? That is a good skill. That's awesome. I like that. Legendary Summoning Gamabunta. So I'm gonna guess they all have legendary summonings. That's interesting. Young Jiraiya targets the enemy team, dealing 20 damage to them. Young Jiraiya becomes invulnerable for 1 turn and gains 1 Taijutsu chakra. But he doesn't use Taijutsu. What? Why? He should be getting a ninjutsu chakra. Are they trying to force these 3 to combo together or something? I don't like that. Come on, guys, change this to the chakra that they use. Have them help themselves out. Because in a 1v1 situation, what is that going to do for them? Nothing. That's just chakra that they're going to have to fucking exchange. Nah, bro. Change that. That sucks. That is not good. Needle Jizu. So he has a different invuln, I guess. Young Jiraiya protects himself or 1 ally, permanently giving them 30 destructible defense each. So does that mean both him and the ally? It's worded weird. Or 1 ally, but it says giving them, which implies both of them each. It should be protects himself and 1 ally, permanently giving them 30. This should say and 0. Change that to and. Because this is confusing. All enemies will receive 1 invisible stack of this skill permanently. These effects stack. Yeah, but what do they do? What? What does this do? Dude, this skill makes no sense. First off, it's incredibly overpowered if it really does affect both of them. For 1 random, all enemies will receive 1 invisible stack of the skill permanently. What does that mean, though? Are they comboing these 3 characters together for real? Why? Okay, let's see. Hopefully this makes more sense, because what the fuck does that mean? They stack for what? Nothing in this guy. Okay, I'm confused. Young Orochimaru assaults 1 enemy, dealing 20 damage to them. Following turn, this target will also bleed for 10 health. What, so it's the same skill as my Spy Kabuto? But my Spy Kabuto has 1 fucking cooldown? I mean, I know it will cost a random dude, but this doesn't need a cooldown. If you're gonna give Orochimaru the same skill, take the cooldown away, man. I mean, I know Kabuto's can like deal 40 damage, yeah. For a random, yeah. But still, it doesn't need a cooldown. Whatever. Young Orochimaru targets 1 enemy, dealing 20 damage and stunning their physical class skills for 1 turn. Following turn, the skill will cost 1 random chakra. It will only be usable on the enemy affected by the skill, but will not deal damage. So it's just a physical stun for a random. I don't know how much use that's gonna get. This would be a lot better if it's stun like offensive skills. Or harmful skills, or like helpful skills. Not like physical. It'd be way better if it was like harmful or helpful. Way better. Or at least this stuns 2 different types, physical and chakra. Mental and chakra. Something. Well, probably physical and something else. Yeah, because I don't know how useful just a physical stun is going to be. It's not going to be worth using most of the time, especially because it can only be used on the person who it was just used on. And it's really weird that this costs a genjutsu. Why does this cost a genjutsu? Maybe it costs a bloodline. Taijutsu and genjutsu for Mondo? Why? Oh, I'm so confused. And what was Jiraiya's again? Ninjutsu and genjutsu? Okay, that's fine, but taijutsu and genjutsu? Why? Young Orochimaru targets one enemy, dealing 25 piercing damage and removing 1 random chakra. Removing a chakra from them. Weird, okay. Young Orochimaru will gain 1 ninjutsu chakra. And why? He doesn't use ninjutsu chakra. So are they really trying to force them to combo? But this doesn't make any sense because this skill still doesn't have any purpose for the stacks it gives people. What? Nothing with Orochimaru. So Tsunade better have something that ties into Needle Jizu, because right now I'm fucking confused. Come on. Make Manda give him a tie. And make Gamabun to give him a fucking nin. Jesus. Tsunade. What did that last skill even do? Or this skill? Oh yeah, it's a stun, okay. Young Tsunade targets 1 enemy, dealing 20 damage to them, paralyzing their skill's cooldown for 1 turn. Okay. This seems random of an effect. Like one of her punches is going to paralyze their cooldowns now, so what, are we going to have kicks that paralyze cooldowns and fucking shoves that paralyze cooldowns? I thought that was for more like skills that like restrain somebody or electrocute somebody or something. And I guess now punches will do it. So a paralyzing can just be added to anything, I guess. Okay. I mean, that's fine, but I just felt like they're doing more of it was more specific of a type of skill that would paralyze, but alright. Okay. This skill will deal 5 additional damage for each 25 health. Young Tsunade heals herself or allies. 5 additional damage for each 25 health. Young Tsunade healed, okay. Young Tsunade heals herself or an ally for 25 health and removes all harmful affliction class effects on them. Okay, classic. Heal. But it's called Legendary Mystical Palm Healing. So what is legendary about this? Each time this skill is used, it will heal an additional 5 health for 2 turns that stacks. No, just make it's legendary, right? Each time this skill is used, it will heal an additional 5 health permanently that stacks. Do that. And start it out at 20 HP. That's fine. That's perfect. Well, I guess you can, yeah, start it out at 20. And then make this for every 20 health. Yeah, so far I'm not liking these 3. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like them. And this is probably, let's see what she uses. Tai and Nin, so this is gonna give her, what, a Genjutsu? Or, it's probably gonna give her a Genjutsu, isn't it? It is! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I bet nothing is gonna tie into Needle Jizu's stacks. Watch. Young Tsunade heals herself and her allies for 15 health. The following 2 turns, the first character affected by this skill that dies will have their health set to 15. The first character affected by this skill that dies will have their health, so it's a revive. That's really good. Except for the fact that it gives her a fucking Genjutsu chakra. But hey, this is a revive, dude. That's fire. This skill's good. But guys, you gotta be kidding me. Look, make this cost a bloodline, alright? Make this cost a tie into bloodline. Make this give him a tie. Make this give him a ninjutsu. Make this cost a tie and again. Make this give her fuck. Let's see here. Nin. Give him a tie. No. Make this give him a bloodline. Make this cost blood. Make this give him a bloodline. Make this give her a nin. Fix it. Next. Last one. Hanzo targets one enemy, dealing 15 piercing damage on them, and placing one explosive tag release stack on them. Okay, so I just want to comment on something. I don't really like when we make explosions deal 15 deal piercing damage. Same thing goes for True Art. I really would have preferred this character if he was dealing affliction damage rather than regular and piercing. I mean, he does explosions, right? But that's okay. I understand why you did it, because this is the affliction character. I get it. But I guess now Hanzo is following this theme of we're giving explosions piercing damage, and I don't think that should be a theme. I think we should be making explosions and things to do with fire affliction damage. Okay? I'm gonna give it a pass on this guy, but honestly, he needs a full rework. I did a rework in the custom character channel. 6 people, 5 people voted for, like, this is good. I'm gonna show you guys my rework in this video. 1 second. Let's just finish Hanzo. Hanzo targets one enemy, stunning their physical class skills for 1 turn and placing 2 explosive tag release stacks on them. I like that. I like when we have, for some reason I like when there's a skill that like will place 1 stack and then we got another that will place like 2. My True Art rework has that same thing. So Hanzo explodes his tags, dealing 10 affliction damage to all enemies. See, so this is dealing affliction damage, so why is this not? Come on, bruz. So it's an explosion and a kunai, so make it deal 5 piercing and 10 affliction. 5 for the kunai, 10 for the explosion. There you go. Come on. Hanzo explodes his tags, dealing 10 affliction damage to all enemies. So it just baseline deals 10 to all enemies. I would have thought it would have dealt damage only to characters who had stacks of the tags on them, but that's fine. This skill deals 10 additional damage for each stack of that skill on them. That's kind of phrased weird, but 2 explosive tag releases. It should say this skill for each stack of this skill on them. This skill cannot be counted or reflected and ignores invulnerability. This is a really good skill. He's a good character so far. I have my little pet peeve thing about the piercing damage on this, but so far, decent character. Different invuln, I guess. Hanzo takes 1 enemy as a hostage, and for 1 turn, all harmful skills used on him will be reflected to that enemy. Please don't be invisible. Please don't be invisible. The following turn, Salamander Hanzo will become invulnerable to enemy affliction class skills. So it's an invuln to affliction. On the following turn. Interesting. It's not invisible. That is great. I love that. A reflect that's not invisible. We need more skills like that. The only one we have is Misumi's. So that's fire. I like that a lot. And I mean, this is the kind of effect that is perfect for an alternate invuln, because I think alternate invulns need to have effects that are equivalent and just as useful as what an invuln would be. Because replacing an invuln is a big thing, because an invuln is a skill that is always helpful. almost always. And many characters benefit from it. Most characters in the game benefit from it. So if you're going to replace it, the effect should be just as good, because you're kind of fucking a character up if it's not just as good. This right here is just as good. So he has an alternate. It's a passive. Interesting. This skill triggers in the beginning of the match and every 4 turns afterwards. Okay, I like that. When triggered, all harmful affliction damage effects on Hanzo's team will be removed and they will ignore affliction damage for 1 turn. So Hanzo is like an anti-affliction damage character. I like that. We don't have many characters like that. Hanzo, he's fire. Whoever designed him, good job. He's good. Okay. So let's do my true art rework here. Let me just change the resolution. Show you my rework. Here we go. Yeah, I thought the pics should be reworked too, so I changed the pics. Because I don't like the pics in game. At least not the FP. Yeah, I just don't like the pics at all. I mean, this is off-center. This is called clay minions, but those aren't his clay minions. Those are his like clay little balls, little insects. C4 Karura. I think they should show the, bomb tearing somebody apart. Clay clone, this one's fine, but it has an effect that it adds a stack of C4 if somebody's attacked. So I wanted to actually show that in my version, so it does show the clone, but it also shows Deidara using his trap on them that will give them stacks of C4 in Ultimate Art. So the biggest issue I have with this character is this skill, this passive. That isn't even really a passive most games, because if you kill him last, the passive doesn't exist. And if you're an idiot, you kill him anything but last. So most players in this game aren't idiots. So you know what that means? That means that this character does not have a passive effect, even though they added a passive effect. That's a problem. He should be able to blow himself up at a certain amount of HP. It should not be up to the enemy when this activates, because that means they can make this passive not exist. That is bullshit. It was bullshit in Art is a Bang on the original Deidara and Naruto-Arena.com and .net. It's why those characters were reworked. This type of skill sucks. But this type of skill is really fucking good if you allow Deidara to choose when he can blow himself up and kill himself. So that's what I'm going to fix it in my rework, and that's what I did fix. So the first skill I totally reworked. I don't like this, but I wanted to do something kind of similar. So my skill costs 2 random, it's action, and it's pretty much permanent. So it gives him 20 permanent points of damage reduction and deals 5 damage to a random enemy every turn. So that's representing him like summoning his little clay clones and having them like swing at people, just kind of punch them and shit. Every time a new offensive skill is used on Deidara, he loses 5 damage reduction, and the attacking enemy is dealt 10 piercing damage and marked for 1 turn. So I stayed with the piercing damage thing because I understand that the other Deidara is the affliction damage character, so I did not give him all affliction damage. To stay true to the original design. So this, every time a new offensive skill is used on Deidara, he loses 5 damage reduction and the attacking enemy is dealt 10 piercing damage. That's representing like, somebody going to attack and then Deidara sending the bomb after him and blowing one up. You know, it's just like what happens in the anime. So when the skill has its damage reduction reach 0, it ends. It also can't be used while active. So, but what's important about this is that every time somebody attacks Deidara and he loses 5 damage reduction, and they take 10 piercing damage, they're also marked for 1 turn. So that's gonna, so similar to this, so what this does is make it so this skill isn't random, right? So this skill deals 25 piercing damage to a random enemy and grants them a stack of C4. So I didn't really like that this can't be counted or reflected. That didn't make any sense to me. But it did make sense to me to make it ignore invulnerability, bypass invulnerability. Okay, so when somebody gets marked by the first skill, this skill is able to specifically target them. So not only does this not fix this issue of this only lasting for 1 turn, you know, making this not random, and this being on a cooldown of 2, which means you're not using it very often, this has potential to, you know, happen every turn basically, which is great. Because being able to choose somebody to attack, and this is especially really good in 1v1s. Now if somebody attacks, not 1v1, 2v2, 2v1s or 2v2s. But anyway, it's going to give a stack of C4, alright? I totally reworked C4 Karura. So, may only be used on an enemy with at least 1 stack of C4, okay? When used, all stacks of C4, it consumes all stacks of C4 to deal 5 permanent affliction damage to the target, plus 5 additional damage for each stack consumed. So if it has 1 stack, this will deal 10 affliction damage permanently. And then this effect cannot be removed, countered, or reflected in stacks. So that's where I felt the cannot be countered or reflected should be put with this skill. So this just makes a lot more sense for what this skill is. I don't like that this deals 20 damage to somebody who attacks him. I think that's stupid. Make it do what it did in the anime. It went inside somebody's body and fucking blew them up at a fucking microscopic level. That would be what? Something like permanent affliction damage, right? Much better. I mean, this skill is awesome. This is what C4 Karura should have been. Okay. C4 Clone Trap. Deidara will ignore all the damage dealt by enemies for 1 turn. So I stayed true to that. But I also made it Deidara during this time gains, any enemy who uses a new skill on Deidara during this time gains 2 stacks of C4. So instead of 1, it's 2. And then this is where I really complete the character. When Deidara is at 40 HP or below, this skill swaps to CO Ultimate Art. So this is no longer passive, but it is, but it's not. So look, Deidara kills himself to deal 30 piercing to the enemy team. So once you're at 40 health, you can use this skill. So you can blow yourself up and kill yourself at 40 HP for 3 random, okay? This is going to deal 10 additional damage, so I kept this effect for every stack of C4 and /or effect of one of Deidara's skills that each target has active on them when this effect is activated. Then here's the best part. This effect is cast automatically if Deidara dies. So that still happens, but he can also blow it up at any point. Speaks for itself. It's been Kito. Thanks for watching. Peace out, guys, and bye.